What's going on? What's going on, everybody? We are back for another late one. Hey, I said last night I'd come back. I know I said I tried to come back earlier. Instead, I came back a half hour later than last night. But shit happened. You know how it goes. Life be lifing. Oh shit! Right off the bat is my brother Donald. So what up, my boy? Hey, I said I'd come back right next night. For all my late night maniacs like myself that are up. How are we, Donald? How was your excuse me, how was your Saturday? Hope your Saturday was terrific. I tried hitting up the Walmart for some WWE figures, but shit was a bust. You know, you see some of these videos where these kids go to Walmart and or Target and they just never miss, right? Like it's just so ooh. Some people just get super lucky, but we're gonna eventually get somebody at Target to hook us up with some, start letting me know when they come in and shit to pull up and get them because I gotta get my wrestling goodies. My day was okay. I can't complain. No work this weekend, so that's always good. Hell's yeah, right? Hey, no work is always a beautiful, beautiful thing. Yo, what up, Erics? You already know, man. I don't sleep till Sunday and Monday. And even though it's technically Sunday morning, it's still Saturday night for me. So I'm still riding the wave out. I'm still hyped up. So if you saw the picture, just in case you knew, whether you're watching at home or if you end up coming to the chat and you're new to wrestling, or you just maybe not fully sure who was on the cover, it was Kenny Omega versus Shawn Michaels. I'm pretty sure. You know what it is? I went back and forth with the cover like 4 or 5 times. Like, nah, I'm gonna go with this wrestling. And you know what? I'm just realizing that was the wrong cover. No, I went with the Heart Foundation. So that is my bad shit. Like, give your boy a little leeway. It is 4:30 in the morning, right? So let me double check. I'm pretty sure it was the Heart Foundation. Chat, let me know. Is the Heart Foundation the cover for the live? Let me see. Let's talk. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Tom. All right. Yeah, okay. Thank you. There we go. So I figured tonight we'll chop it up a little about. But at first, I was gonna do dream, matches between the older era and the new era. But I figured since it was 4:30 already in the morning, I'd save that for the next live when we start a little earlier, so we can hit more into that topic. And I wanted to give us more of an easier wrestling topic. So tonight I want to talk about wrestling factions. It doesn't have to be any specific time zone. I don't care what year the faction comes from. If they were a wrestling faction, we can talk about it. So right off the bat, my man Donald said NWO, my favorite by far, changed wrestling back in the day. And you're not wrong. I don't think anybody could say different about that. The NWO was the biggest thing to hit wrestling because without the NWO, we don't get Degeneration X. We don't get Bullet Club. You know, these things don't all happen that ended up happening. We don't get Stone Cold and The Rock. The Vince gave a lot of guys a lot of freeway with creative because of why? Because he was getting crushed by the NWO. I mean, Eric said, favorite faction? Ooh, okay. He got NWO at number 1, Bullet Club at number 2, Evolution at number 4. Wait, I'm sorry. I'm shocked tonight. NWO Bullet Club Evolution number 3, and APA at number 4, and Degeneration X. Woo-hoo. Okay, so look, Eric he just set the bar. We're going 5 favorite factions. Hell yeah, Nintendo 64. Yo, King, tell him, King. Smash that like button. Yo, K, you ain't wrong. Yo, that NWO versus WCW and the games on Nintendo 64, best wrestling games of all time. Shit, best games of all time, period. That and GoldenEye. Shit. Yo, Nintendo 64, king of systems. Woo, King might have said NWO all day. Let's go. All right, let's see what Donald said. He's got Degeneration X, Heart Foundation, Four Horsemen, The Dark Ministry. I like that. Undisputed Era, all great as well. Woo. Like, come on, you can't go wrong. These are unbelievable factions. I went with AJ Styles as the leader of Bullet Club, number 1 for me. Heart Foundation, without a doubt. I'm trying to think. I want to put DX. I know the younger me loved Degeneration X, but the older me, I still like Degeneration X, but I don't know if I like them as much as a top 3 like type thing, but NWO, of course. NWO Bullet Club. And who the hell else did I say? Oh, Heart Foundation, yeah. WWF No Mercy for Nintendo 64 is the best wrestling game. Oh yeah. And it's cool because the WCW ones and the WWF ones, they all had the same gameplay, so it was awesome. I think for me it was either No Mercy or WrestleMania 2000 was my favorite. Whichever one of those two were the newer ones for 64 at the time. Eric said facts, Donald. DX was better when it was Triple H, X Pac, and the Outlaws. Yeah, Triple H was just coming out, becoming Triple H. That was the first real step of Triple H on his way to become a, a main event guy. Without that, man, we don't get those other versions. Oh, with Stevie Richards, the BWO, the Blue World Order with Blue Meanie. And I like Stevie Richards. I always felt like he should have got a better he should have got a better deal in wrestling. Oh, or it could yep, or it could be right to censor. Yep, Eric's Donald got you on that one. Yep, right to censor. Yo, that I didn't appreciate them, at the time. But now looking back at right to censor, yo, that was good stuff. Nation of Domination we had. That was another good faction. The Godfather, LOL. You remember the 3-minute warnings? Bro, classic attitude era. The good fatter. Godfather. Man, right to censor was something. I love WWE and factions. I don't like the Today factions much because they're not really doing them. The Vision is like the first time that they're doing a faction with more than 3 people in a long time. 3-minute warnings was just a tag team, right? No, I thought 3-minute warning was something that they did in the ring, like like the whole right to censor. But I could be wrong. I'm gonna see if I could Google it real quick. Uh, let's see. Rosie and Jamal. Eric said, yeah, when Bischoff was the GM of Raw. Yo, that was something though. Just seeing when Vince McMahon brought out Eric Bischoff and he was on Raw, it was like, whoa. Hold on. Rudy, I gotta spit real quick, guys. Give me 1 second. Okay. Woo! Oh. All right. Sorry about that. We're back. I think WCW had a group called 3 Count. And they were like a music faction, right? I want to say. I definitely think it was a music. They pretended like they were a boy band type of thing. Hey, what's up, the Forgotten Bro? Hey, listen. It's all good, fam. I've been going on crazy times, so I completely understand. But very soon, I'm gonna start lining up some, daytime lives and stuff like that. I just hope that if by doing that, you guys are all still able to come through. It was Shane Helms, Shannon Moore, and some guy I can't remember. Yep, the boy. Yeah, absolutely, Donald. I can't remember who the third one was either. Shane Helms. Was it Billy Kidman? Maybe before, like before he was Billy Kidman. I feel like I remember someone like with that Billy Kidman hair, long black hair. Well, I know it's a lot of people, but remember the Spirit Squad? Oh boy, this. Hey, we got Dolph Ziggler. I think the funniest thing is that they were able to go on to the indies afterwards and get booked for a bunch of different shows as the Spirit Squad. My bro said, I'll always be a Hulkamaniac and support you any way I can. What you gonna do, brother? Hey, Ray, you come through to my other channel? We could, and you can see and you can request anything you want to see on the shoe side of things. Yeah, I'll put a. Let me show you. There we go. Ray, check out my other channel. On the other channel, we do shoes, collectibles, hats, bunch of cool shit. Evan Karagas. Evan Karagas. I don't remember him for shit. Eminem. Um, that was John Morrison's break, right? The first time he was ever with WWE. I love it, brother. Man, no one will ever be more over than Hulk Hogan in the world. You know, this man was an icon before they had the word icon. I think sometimes people forget the crowds that would when Hulk Hogan did like an autograph signing type of thing, or somewhere where he'd just be like waving to fans and stuff, how many people would be around just to see him. Yeah, with Johnny Nitro Molina. Yep, Morrison, Mercury, and Molina. Yo, John Morrison used to have all those dope fur jackets like he was a pimp. All he needed was a cane. It's weird, right, that we don't see John Morrison nowadays wrestling. Please tell me I'm not the only one that still gets pumped up when I hear his original entrance music. Oh, forever. Anytime I hear Hulk's music, I start. Oh, do you mean Hulk or do you mean John Morrison? Yo, let's fucking go, bro. Yo, welcome Wig to the Wolf Pack Federation, boys. Ow! Welcome to the Wolf Pack Federation. I subbed, boy. Ain't too many OG wrestling fans on YouTube these days. Well, you definitely found the right place. I can't help the trolls that come on at this time of night, but I will tell you that the guys here are freaking awesome and love wrestling. And we're more than happy to have you. You remember Deuce and Domino and their manager chick who came out on roller skates? You know, I remember the roller skates more than I remember that. You know, that's one thing I keep forgetting to do when I remember JCW like every time when I come on, but when I'm off and I'm looking for something to watch, I forget all the time. Check out JCW. I got to do it. And I just actually watched the Battle Riot for MLW. Best theme song. Hey, anytime I hear Hulk song come on, I'm amped. I don't care if I'm online at Nathan's. I'm starting to do the Hogan there. They're looking at me like I'm nuts. Like, what up, Tech? I am a real American. Woo! Fight for the rights of every man. Pum, pum. Absolutely. I have a Wolfpack shirt I bought in '98 in Louis. Yo, my man. Yo, that's fucking fire, bro. Woo! I like the sound of that from 1998, man. We're throwing it back. Hey, I hear you, Wick. I still have, bro. I got the Bret Hart glasses from when I was 15, and I'm 39 now. JCW had James Storm versus Mr. Anderson for the world title. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Yo, I really gotta remember. Special, yo, I would love to see. I always like those guys, James Anderson, James Storm, of course. Mr. Anderson, I liked in TNA. I wasn't that crazy WWE days, Mr. Anderson, but TNA, I liked him. Hells yeah, absolutely. And I met Kevin Nash in person, and I asked him for the blessing of the Wolfpack name, which thank God he was like, yeah, he's like, bro, that's cool as shit. He's like, I'm happy people still want to keep it alive. Do it. Because if he would have been like, no, don't use it, I don't know what I was gonna do. I had two channels with the name. Shit, I would have been in trouble. 90s WCW is the shit. Man, those Monday Night Wars was so good. You had to hold the remote half the time in your hand because you need to be ready to flick over and flick back real quick. I used to work at wood shop. At least once a week I was known for holding up a 2x4 in the middle of the shop and just yelling, "Oh, oh man!" Oh, talking about classic wrestling. I wish Bobby Roode would have gotten more opportunities in WWE. Yo, you and me, 1000%. Like, I was so happy when I saw the Bobby Roode NXT run. I said, good, they see they got a main event guy right here. And the next thing you know, they're doing nothing with him on the main roster. Like, what the hell? And then even it got even worse. Then he just stopped wrestling, and now he works in the back as a match producer, which I only found out when we got a quick glimpse at one of the nights. I said, "Holy shit, that's Bobby Roode." Last week, brother, it's on Thursdays on YouTube. Just look up JCW Lunacy. Oh, good, it's on Thursdays. Oh yeah, I got a bunch of autographs and stuff too. Just the wrestlers I got to meet most recent because I went to SummerSlam this year. Well, I guess technically last year because it was 2025, but Well, the last SummerSlam that happened. In the daytime, I went to an autograph signing where I got to meet Kevin Nash, Bret Hart, Okada, and the Hardy Boys that I had pictures with. I met the Dark Order, Evil Uno, Paige from WWE, the Steiners were there. Jushin Thunder Liger was there in costume. Nash and Hall were always my favorite. The bad, that's badass. You met Nash. Hells yeah, bro. I was also a huge Nash and Hall fan. They're the reason I actually would go back and forth with WCW and WWE. I was a WWE guy, but anytime Nash and Hall were on and Sting, phew, I was switching over. Right? I miss Beer Money was such a good tag team. I would have loved to see Bobby Roode and James Storm tagging again now. Hey, thank you, Forgotten Bro, for coming through as always. You have a blessed day too, brother. And I'm gonna try to maybe go live for Monday Night Raw if you're around on Monday. You know, Scott. I know Scott back in the day was crazy, but so it was like $100 to do like a autograph and a picture and stuff. So guys like Scott, I just got lucky when they were like away from their tables. I just said, "Hey, I just wanted to say hello and thank you for everything you did," and shook his hand. And I saw they appreciated that. I just kept it short and kept it moving. But he was cool, him and Rick. Oh, the Honky Tonk Man was there. That man, though, he'd be drinking all the time. I also met Big Kev. He's a cool ass dude. He takes time with fans. He really is. What's up, Jin? What country are you from? United States. I sub to your channel if you go live, man. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. And you're definitely gonna have fun here. And if you're into like Marvel, DC, shoes, hats, stuff like that, also subscribe to my other channel too, because I go live on both channels regularly. The other channel is actually my first channel. That's why that's more Tuesday nights, and the times are more normal. But I'm trying to get this channel not only to be situated like the other channel, but I want this channel to beat my first channel. Heck yeah, bro. That's how to do it. Keep it sweet and keep it short. They appreciate that, right? Like straight edge society. Yo, that was so good. Plus, I don't know why, but Luke Gallows, bro, is such a big guy, but on TV he just looks like a tall guy that's slim. I don't know why he looks like that on camera, but if you meet Gallows in person, he's huge. Thank you, Wig, for life. My man Donald, that's my brother. Yeah, I always wanted to do a wrestling channel. And when I was on my other channel, anytime wrestling would come up, people would tell me like, "Bro, somebody mentions wrestling, and you go into Wrestle Zone, and then that's it." Hey, I'm definitely gonna try it. And you'll also, I know people always say they don't lie and shit like that, but you'll learn to see that I'm not bullshitting when I tell you, I keep it 100 with you all the time. If I hate something or I'm not going to do something, I'll let you know right off the bat. And then JCW, I actually want to, I really didn't give a shit about it for the longest time, but the minute Donald told me about that Vince Russo was there, now I want to give it a try. I always liked Vince Russo. I get, I, I love the way though he's so afraid of Jim Cornette. It makes me always laugh. That ice cream is looking just too sweet. Gotta have my frosty. I grabbed two frosties earlier, and I said, you know what? I'm going live on the wrestling channel later. I'm gonna save one. I love Jim Cornette. His podcast is pretty good. Yeah, right. It really is pretty good. I was a hater of Russo back in NWO TNA days, but I love him JCW. You can tell he loves wrestling. I hated him in WCW. He, but I get it. He had this ego that I'm the greatest of all time writers. He had helped get WWE to the golden place and shit. As men, we are very guilty at when we become the best. Sometimes we get a little cocky and we think our shit don't stink. But then TNA came and him and Eric Bischoff going back and forth, that just wasn't going to work. Oh, so for JCW, who's champion then? Is it James Storm or Ken Anderson? I'm hoping it's James Storm, but for some reason I feel like you're gonna tell me Ken Anderson. Yep. Mr. Anderson. Hey, does he still do the Mr. Anderson gimmick like he used to with the mic? The mic come down? From Green Bay, Wisconsin, Mr. Anderson. And oh man, I gotta see him. I think that if he was to like go to WWE later on than what he did, it would have worked for him. Because he was over there when you had guys like Bob Holly, being a jerk off in the back, which I'll still never understand why this guy thought it was okay to be a bully and fuck with so many people. The guy was world champion 0 times. Like, if you're gonna act like you could walk water, at least be a main event guy. Randy Orton, yeah, I'm not surprised because Randy Orton, and unfortunately, the Randy Orton back then isn't the Randy Orton we know now. Thank God. And I've always respected that Randy Orton admits that he was an asshole back then. What do you think of AEW? I think it's been watered down lately. I always the same people on top. They need to push out the talent. I actually just watched AEW. Was it Thursday? Which I think was Wednesday's AEW episode, but I watched it on Thursday. When the main event was Brody King beating MJF. I like AEW, but I don't know, the storytelling part of it's not doing it for me. I think they got the wrestling part of it down good. They just need the creative part to get a little better. And yeah, they definitely do need to throw more names in there. Like, hey, I like Hangman Page, but I don't want to see him fighting for the world title again. And I don't want them to keep watering down Kenny Omega just because, he's an EVP or whatever of the company with the Bucks that they're trying to push on. No, I want it. I want Kenny Omega to wake up tomorrow and be like, F this, I'm not doing this anymore. I'm going back to being the real Kenny Omega that's the best in the world. What's up, Chubby Chubs? I'm rocking it to Kid Rock, only God knows why. Okay. Yeah, Orton and Cena, Shawn Michaels, etc. were all assholes back in the day, but when they get older, they matured a lot. Especially Shawn and Cena. Cena was such an asshole. MJF is the future. That I will, I will never say something bad, right? At least for now about MJF. I think MJF is so good. Like he really gets it. His mic work is unbelievable. He's good in the ring. Yo, Cold Slayer, what's good, fam? Too sweet. Who remembers McMahon Helmsley regime? Oh yeah, it was like it was like Christmas at McMahon's. Then the question is, did Vince know he was with Triple H was with his daughter yet? I have one of Trish Stratus costumes. I wear it anytime I can. Oh, I hope you are a female wearing a Trish Stratus costume. Bro, if Steena didn't bury the Nexus, they could have been huge. And it was crazy too. I saw something about if your finishing move was anything that resembled Cena's move, he got you. He would get. He buried the talent. Like now, anybody who tried to do the same move that he buried, I get that's dumb on their end. If you come into a company and you see their top guys, what their moves are, you don't go near those moves. I'm a boy, but I look like a woman. I'm not even going to touch that one. Jericho and Edge and other guys all thought Nexus should have won at Survivor Series. And it was a cool angle, too, with Nexus. Speaking of Nexus, just like in general, how Nexus was, NXT became Nexus. I hate that WWE, when they take the NXT guys and put them on the main roster, they pretend like nobody knows them. And they put them all the way on the bottom. Trick Williams should have been coming into NXT hot. He should have jumped the guardrail and destroyed somebody with a championship belt. Now, I'm not saying he had to win the belt, but that's how he should have entered. And right off the bat, had a program with a champion that would have lasted until his pay per view where they could have fought. I have blonde hair and I look like Trish Stratus. Well, I believe you got blonde hair. I don't think you look like Trish Stratus, though. Sorry, man. Whoop that trick. Paige had a great call up. Her versus AJ Lee was epic. I remember when Paige came up and they had the title shot. I was like, I forgot who was with me, but I had 2, 3 friends with me, and I'm like, yo, there's no way she's losing the AJ is losing the belt, right? And then Paige won. It was like, what? She might. I think Paige had the best call up. 3 best call ups, I think, of all time was Paige, Nexus, and the Shield. You know, all of them came up and whooped ass. Remember, John Cena had to be a Nexus member for a while because he lost. Man, that was so good. Those times, like, and when the Shield came up, that was, that was so badass. You had the Shield all black, just come jump in the guardrail, whooping everybody's ass. What about Santino? He won the IC belt in his first match, and he beat Umaga at it. At that, was Santino in any developmental program before though? He was a fan they took out of the crowd, right? Hey, I was a Ryback fan. Beat me more, like he was like an unstoppable force. I hate that they ruined Ryback. Ryback, I truly believe had so much potential. He was like a mix of Goldberg and RVD. Like he had the RVD outfit with the Goldberg intensity. Hells yeah! If you have not already smashed that like button, tap the screen twice to smash that like button. And if you have not already subscribed to the channel, please do. Support is free 99. Yeah, they called Santino from the crowd. I remember that too. Yeah, he's doing pretty good though as the GM in TNA right now. Yo, what's good, Danny? How are we tonight or this morning? Yes, but he was in OVW with Cornette, which was the NXT back then. And OVW wasn't as easily televised as NXT is either. Like shit, could you imagine if back in the day when guys would come in to wrestle, they had that NXT facility? Talk about being able to make a make an athlete. Shit. Hey, welcome back, Kronos. How we feeling tonight, Kronos? Oh yeah, you mean this year's right? I watched this year's Royal Rumble. We actually we were live for it too. How'd you like it, Danny? Ohio Valley Wrestling. I'm so happy that they went from Triple H came up with the idea like, hey, which why they did NXT, right? Because they were seeing how guys were starting to make more money on the indies and didn't need WWE thanks to the Young Bucks and the Bullet Club. Sasha, Charlotte, and Becky made it to the main roster from Stephanie to initiate the Divas Revolution. Oh yeah, Sasha, Charlotte, Becky. Who we missing? Because it was the Four Horsewomen. Oh, Bailey and Bailey. There we go. Oh yeah, Donald, the greatest wrestling class of talent of all time in OVW. John Cena, Brock Lesnar, Batista, Randy Orton, and Shelton Benjamin were all in the same class. Like, who would ever think that these guys right then and there were gonna win the future and beyond? Like, I got Jake the Snake's autograph in North Carolina when I was 8. I'm doing all right tonight. Just paid $2,000 to get my girlfriend out of jail. Shit. Sorry about that, Kronos. What'd she do, if you don't mind saying? NXT has some hot women wrestlers. Sol Ruka, Kendall Gray. Oh, absolutely. Jada Parker. When it comes to women, we're so good for the future. Thanks to NXT. It's good with the crowd chants. I was pissed. Mr. Fitz. Yep. I hear you, Daddy. Hey, what up, Shaquille? Yep, Roman won the Rumble. She's already out on bond for felony. She got pulled over for failure to yield and went. Oh man, damn. Sorry to hear that. Not that you wanted her to do something bad. It's just like shit. I'm gonna have to pay that. At least throw somebody through a window. Hey, when you're jammed up with the court system, you gotta be on your best behavior and do whatever you gotta do what you gotta do to get until you get off of that shit. Because that's what they want to happen. They want you to screw up so they can put you away so you gotta pay. Bro, jail and prison is a business for the government. That shit makes they make so much money off of that. Oh no, ooh. I didn't want to touch that subject about AJ. I almost snapped the laptop in half when we were watching it when AJ lost. Like, what's the point of even telling us you're retired in 2026 if you're retired in the first month? Just say you're retired the minute 2026 hits. Like, I'm kind of annoyed at AJ Styles, actually. He made me believe we had time still. I mean, geez, money gone for nothing. For real, like, and that's not cheap. Yeah, Star Wars fan. Actually, I got the in my hallway. I got this mat, and it's Han Solo when he was frozen. Speaking of jail, remember Nails versus Big Boss Man? Oh yeah, that was underrated. They had a good program. Oh, I've been a sneakerhead my whole life. I became a sneakerhead when I was a little kid. I used to play sports all the time, and basketball was my main sport. So I would always get dope shoes to play basketball. Then I would get a dope pair of shoes for school. And that was just me liking it before I realized it, before I ever knew it was a thing. It is so expensive to keep up with sneakerhead life. It's way too much because you're buying sneakers every month. It's out of control. You just gotta get whatever you really like, and that's it. I just bought a lightsaber. I got the Lord Luke. It's the lightsaber he would have used if he turned dark. He was supposed to turn at the end of the original trilogy in the original script. It was for damn, bro. Well, I'm happy you got the lightsaber. That's awesome. And that price tag, whew, 400. Damn right, better light. Hey, what up, Kumar? How are we tonight? Hey, I got nothing but love for India. We always get somebody from India who comes through and shows love. Which of these sneakerhead slangs means to buy? I have no idea. I collect old video games. I thought that was expensive, but the shoe game is Oh yeah, because but realistically, any hobby that you're really into is expensive and sucks because you're buying so much of it every month, and that's the problem. If you were spending say $500 once every 3 months, it'd be doable. But if you're spending that every month, that ain't doable. Hey, Nicholas, what's good, brother? How are we tonight? Cronus is laughing. Yo, Shaquille, all these little terms, yo, that's for the younger kids. If the older kids, if they're gonna buy sneakers, they just say they're gonna buy sneakers. I'm gonna buy whatever that name of the sneaker is. And I can't complain, except for I wish it was a lot earlier than this, but I got some ice cream and we're rolling. You remember Big Show, Mankind Test, and Shamrock? Yes, they were the Union. Yes. You know, I had forgotten all about that. Thank you for making me remember that. Holy shit. You know, that was something. I always liked Shamrock too. Tails for the coin toss. And I feel like everybody's going with Seattle, which is making me realistically, my team's not in the Super Bowl. I could give a shit less. I just want to watch the halftime show. But depending on what the odds are, I want to put something on the Patriots because I feel like everybody's going Seattle, so it's gonna be an upset. Is that your team or that's just who you're going for tomorrow? Thank you, Nicholas. Tell the people if you've not already smashed that like button. Hulk Hogan leg drop that like button. Roman Reigns spear that subscribe button and join the WPF. Okay. Yo, the Ravens is my second team. Shit, I hate when I'm drawing a blank. Um, Joe Flacco. There we go. I was a huge Joe Flacco fan and Ray Lewis, which obviously everybody liked Ray Lewis, but Joe Flacco, man, I thought he was awesome. I like quarterbacks that could move. Bronco busted that like button. Hells yeah. Yo, how lucky is Damian Priest, bro? He got Lola Vice. Whew, what a lucky man. Big time Joe, he's still playing in the league. Shit, I hope so. Bye. I have to go later. Like 3 minutes. Hey, Nicholas, thank you for coming by tonight. I'm glad all you maniacs are awake this time of night, or should I say this time of the morning, also, like myself. Sounds good, Nicholas. Yeah, I keep forgetting it's the Super Bowl today too. Shit, it sucks when your team's not in the Super Bowl. Like, I just want another wrestling pay per view already to happen. I know we just had the Royal Rumble, but I need something more. You know, I didn't finish the MLW Riot battle, so I don't know who won it, but I watched so much of it. Did anybody watch any of that MLW? Donald, that's what I'm talking about, brother. That's what I'm talking about. Have a great day, brother. Uh, Donald, remember, I'm gonna try Monday Night Raw if you're around. And Donald, enjoy. That's why you have a wife. Too sweet. Yo, didn't they? I'm pretty sure they did that right 1 year. Cold Slayer. They had the halftime match, right? That's how we got Sunday Night Heat, right? Have a go on, Nicholas. I feel like I really remember them doing a halftime match, and I'm talking maybe like bef- no, it had to be Attitude Era because that's when they were throwing more shit off the wall once they got once everything hit. Rock versus Mankind I Quit match was a Super Bowl match. Wow. It's so crazy that the Super Bowl and WrestleMania are the two biggest events. They did it at the halftime 1 year. Okay. So I knew I remembered them doing something. I wonder why they stopped doing it. I don't know. Do you think a lot of wrestling fans watch football? Maybe not, maybe at the time not, so that's why they stopped doing it. Donald, go have some extra fun. And always remember, if your wife got a friend that looked good and is single, holla at your boy. Too sweet. Shit, I can't believe it's almost 6 in the morning at this point. 4:25. We've been on for a little over an hour at the crazy time of the morning. Got you, homie. Thank you. Thank you, Donald. Now go enjoy life. The best part of life right there. Cold Slayer, who are you going for in the Super Bowl? Whew. Let's see. And whatever you guys want to talk about, we can talk about. What, any era, any kind of match. Definitely though, on the next live, we'll do dream matches, but we're gonna do it a little differently with today's talent. What it would be a dream match between today's talent and the older talents from the older eras. So figure ruthless aggression era and down will be one half of the opponent, and anything from a ruthless aggression after ruthless aggression to today will be the other half. Like which is why I have for the picture Kenny Omega versus Shawn Michaels for the world title. What a match that would have been. John Cena versus Tanahashi. Like that would have been gold. Sting and Undertaker versus each other, of course. Mankind versus Abyss. That would have been insane. All right, chat. I'm getting tired myself. I'm gonna go pass out. Thank you everybody for coming through tonight. We're gonna try to go live again Monday night late from probably after Monday Night Raw is over because my brother Stuntman does an Instagram live on Monday, so I'm gonna be in the chat to show my brother support. So depending on what time he finishes, I'll probably go. I'll probably do a live again after that. So when you hunt with the pack, you never hunt alone. So as always, everybody, stay hunted and happy Super Bowl Sunday. To sweet.